Hello, my name's Tim with CIGARBOXROCK. Today I'm giving you a preview of a vintage Highland Park 24-inch saw that we hope to have posted on our website this coming Friday or Saturday. And this particular model is a U model Highland Park 24-inch. This is a Vice quad series, which means that it has roller bearings all around the vise that ride directly on the cold rolled steel vise rails. Previous to this, Highland Park had a model that was virtually the same, except the vise carriage was flush onto the rail steel, and we like those models also. You've probably seen those before on our website, but this is the actual saw that we will be selling. For those of you that are possibly considering a large saw like this, some of the dimensions, the width, about 36 inches, the length, including the guards, be about 5 foot, and the height with the hood probably going to be about 48 inches. As far as the size of rock that can be accommodated in this saw is this is a great huge vise. The jaws will open to 16¼ inches, and the rock width from the blade to the edge of the tank is a little better than 21, let's say a 19 or a 20-inch rock in length. This vintage Highland Park saw is about 3/4 completed, so we have anywhere from 3 days to a week before completion. But I'll describe what we have done to date with this saw. This saw, again, is a Highland Park U model saw, all steel tank, and the first thing we do is disassemble the saw completely. Disassemble the vise, disassemble the bearing arbor assembly, disassemble everything. Pretty much now all of the small hardware, the nuts and bolts and so forth are all discarded, and we replace with new. Majority of our time is put into the vise assembly. It's really one of the main areas of value in a big saw like this, and they don't get any better than on these U models. We completely disassemble the vise assembly. We pay special attention to these top cast parts, especially the heel and the condition thereof. These particular cast components are perfect. The cold rolled steel pins are inspected to make sure they're to factory in specs, so that they don't have any play and enable the top part of the vise to cant one way or another and affect accuracy. of course, the all-thread lateral feed screw is inspected or replaced. And of course, all of the bushings, the brass bushings, and the roller bearings. The next thing we do is we prefer to keep the original old cold rolled steel rails, but they're inspected to make sure they're straight and sound and don't have any major imperfections. Same thing with the main all-thread shaft. The beauty behind this model is that it's just you know, a huge heavy-duty shaft. The main drive component of the ring worm gear and the worm itself should be, and in this case, we have a new worm. The shaft assembly, it's important that it is not only runs concentric, but the end gets a lot of pressure, has a good flatsy, and that it travels smoothly, and so when you switch power, that your belt runs concentric to the other pulleys. I'm going to review several of the unique aspects of a U-model vintage Highland Park saw like this one that's we're going to have for sale in a few days. Probably the biggest thing is just these saws, since they're made in the 50s and 60s and 70s, the steel was outstanding, and it's important in a big saw like that for the rails, and we're big on the quality of these old arbor shafts. Sometimes we replace them, sometimes we just service them, and in this particular case, this is an original arbor shaft that we disassembled, sent in to our machinist. He has cleaned up the arbor shaft and inspected and serviced the arbor shaft and restored it to original specs, which oftentimes is just a matter of cleaning the shaft up and perhaps adding a distinct flatsy where the pulleys attach to the outside of the arbor shaft. But we pay a lot of attention to the shoulder. Probably the most critical area of quality slab saw is the shoulder of your main arbor shaft, and they don't get any better than on a model like this, that you have a big heavy shaft and everything is super quality about it, but it still has to be clean, and you have to have the collar has to be clean without gouges. Otherwise, any imperfections will transfer through your flange and to the blade. The other areas we spend a lot of time on, obviously, is the vise, the condition of the cold rolled steel rails, and the interior split nut feed mechanism. And the Highland Park brass split nut or split nut levers. If you've ever inspected them before, pretty simple, which is nice, but they have to be clean and sharp, and most importantly, they have to be adjusted correctly, and they have to be, once they are adjusted correctly, they have to be secured so that they stay that way. If they're not adjusted correctly, you put lateral movement on the all-thread drive shaft, and eventually that can be problematic. So once we do get them determined to be quality factory spec split nut jaws, we get them adjusted so it grabs that feed rail concentrically. We make sure that it has brand new hardware and is secured so that it's going to stay that way for heavy duty use.